And time now 4:30 here on this Thursday afternoon. 13 weather meteorologist Sean Ash. We've been doing our best to kind of prepare you for what's ahead here. And we are going to be getting into the teeth of this storm in the coming hours here. We've got a quad box of NDOT cameras right now. Top left up here, that's Bloomington. You can see those flat bases there. This is far southwest Indiana there in Vincennes. We've got a camera there in Sullivan, and we're going to be monitoring NDOT cameras and positioning them around the storms. Not a surprise. We told you the tornado watch may be expanded to the north, and that is what's happened since Angela last updated you at the top of the hour. Now includes Johnson, Shelby, Morgan counties, includes Terre Haute till 9 o'clock, and it's still possible that it could be expanded to include Indianapolis. Either way, we want to set the stage for what's happening right now and what we're going to be dealing with between now and midnight. We've been talking about the increased coverage and intensity of thunderstorms. Temperatures now well into the 60s. We're seeing cells that are beginning to increase. Nothing severe in the state right now. Point your attention to a tornado-warned storm near Effingham, Illinois, and there's also kind of a clustering of storms over there. It's my opinion that that may become the dominant storm in the next 2 to 3 hours here as it moves east to east-northeast and interacts with that warm front that we've talked so much about. Okay, want to put the radar into motion, and I will tell you, look, the farther north you live, the lower chance you're going to have of severe weather for the next several hours. In fact, it's going to be a really nice evening. The farther south, you're already into the rain and rumbles of thunder. And then again, you can see the storm that we're talking about of concern. It's moving almost due east, okay? It's called a right mover. Those are the ones we watch closely because what happens is as they move due east, that low-level wind from the south and southwest hits it perpendicular, and voila, that's where you can get the tornadoes to happen. That's why we are concerned about that particular cell. Not to say that we're not going to watch these closely right now, and we will. I mean, they're developing within an area that's under a tornado watch. We have Samantha Johnson, by the way, that's in Bloomington, that will be able to give us a perspective down there and relocate if we were to get any confirmation of touchdowns between now and midnight here. So there's the cell that we're concerned about. As we move forward in time, you'll start to see that thing moving toward the east. So it's going to go right along. This whole clustering is going to come in right along I-70 and then points to the south here. So I've circled this zone, and it's pretty close to where we were talking about earlier, this enhanced tornado zone this evening. As we get a little bit farther north, we'll have to wait and see, because what happens, there's going to be a fine line of, hey, I'm in some very heavy rain, all kinds of lightning, got some hail, but it's the southern portion of these storms that get the best inflow of wind, and that's where the higher tornado potential will be. So thus far, and that's where that level 3 risk was upgraded earlier, there's that higher tornado zone. Could we have a strong tornado out of this? Yes, cannot completely rule that out. Of course, it doesn't matter if it's strong or not, but that is a possibility. We've been talking about this increased low-level wind field and how that would be the trigger to bust up the atmospheric cap and then allow for an increase in coverage. And that's exactly what we're seeing as these storms are developing on that nose of that low-level jet that we talked about an hour ago. So we'll watch this one. The warm front basically is right through here. So those storms that get onto that warm front, we've been trying to stress that that enhances the low-level wind shear and spin, that when they get on there, we've seen it over and over again, they will basically ride right along that warm front. And those are the ones that can cause you some big-time problems. All right, this is Future Track 13. Just gives you a general idea of scattered to numerous thunderstorms along and south of I-70. Now notice, again, at 7 o'clock, far north, you probably don't have a whole lot happening. Your odds of severe weather are significantly lower than what we're going to be dealing with here over the central portion of the state. Look at the clock there. This is at 9 p.m. That's why I'm saying we got a long way to go, because the low-level wind field is going to remain robust all evening long. So even after dark, when sometimes the atmosphere stabilizes and you don't really have to worry about too much, we're still going to have a tornado threat on the southern side of these storms into about 11 o'clock. So we have a long way to go before we get this whole, all the ingredients together out of the state. That's not going to take place until about midnight. So even 11 o'clock, conceivable that we still have some heavy storms around here, and the potential, again, on the southern flank of that, that we could still get some spin. Here you go, we're 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then we shut everything down and it gets quiet. It gets real windy overnight, and it stays windy tomorrow, but it's just going to be much colder for tomorrow. So here we are at 4:35. We'll see if we get additional counties. It's a possibility. They start with, an area, and if they have to adjust, they adjust, and that's what they've done. We'll see if it gets pushed to the north. Either way, you should remain weather aware as we go through the evening here. We're going to provide more updates, 13 News at 5 o'clock, and if we get tornado warnings, we will be on Channel 13, and if we get severe thunderstorm warnings, we will be on WTHR Plus throughout the evening. So stay with us, please stay weather aware, and we are going to keep you ahead of this storm and keep you safe.